Okay, and now we'll cover the second half of the list. Okay, so then we have feature blocks. And the main reason why I am putting this together is because it is hard to remember what's the difference between a feature block and an activity block. So basically, the featured blocks are the squares with the little bit of text underneath that kind of go in a row. And so I will make one and show you it. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in uh, feature blocks because I'm going to know that I want to title these so that you'll know which one is which. So I'm going to add another widget, and I'm going to go down here to these feature blocks. So I'm going to add an item. Each of the feature blocks needs to have an image in it. So let's just say I want the title to be places to stay. Now you have a couple different options for linking. So traditionally you link in these feature blocks to other pages on the site, but now you can do a custom link. So you could link directly out to a partner. You could just link to a different site altogether. You could link to Reading. You can link to anyone in particular. You can link to an account, which will take them to the account page within your site. You can link to an article, which you will probably use once we start building out those articles, or you can link to another page in your site. So if you select a page, an article, or an account, then you'll be presented with a list of all of that type of content that you have in here. So I'm going to go to places to stay because that's what I want to link to. The benefit of this is the link is created dynamically. So if you decide to change places to stay to be just stay, this link won't break because it's linked to the actual page, not the actual nav content. So it makes it a little better in terms of not breaking links within the site if you change the page names. So you can press to use the featured photo from the link source. So articles will have featured photos and pages will have featured photos. And I think even the accounts you can use their featured photo there. So I'm just going to use the featured photo from here. So I'm not going to have to select an image. If I don't like the image on the places to stay for this page that I'm created, I can just not check that and select an image on the side as I've done with other items. Then you can put in some text here about places to stay. You can do the video ID if you want. Again, if you do that, then a video will display instead of your text. And then you have a text background here. So these individual ones are the different colors with the different icons on the back. Might need to make you a little cheat sheet of that, but they're pretty easy here. So I'm going to choose lodging, and then I'm going to press save. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the builder now just so that you can see a little bit of what happened. So when I go back to the builder, you'll see, okay, so I have my title H1, my title H2, my title small, then I have my content block that I created. Then I have this is my embed code here that I created. Now I have my feature block, which this didn't pull this image over here. So I'm going to go in. I bet the image is maybe, it's a different size here. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to select an image because it didn't pull over here. And I'm just going to keep using these ones that I've already done, so because it'll be a little bit easier. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to the builder. So you can see all of the widgets that you've been putting in here. And so you can kind of have a little bit of preview of what your page is actually going to look like. And then say, I don't want to have this feature block be at the bottom. Maybe I want to put it up a little bit. I can just use these arrows and I can move my content up and down within the page without having to go in and like re-put it in or copy or paste or anything. I just use these little arrows to move up or down, and then I press save. Okay, let's go back down and finish doing our last bit of widgets. Okay, and then we have our activity blocks. So we're going to press save. We're going to add an item. And these are what you guys have been typically using to display your interior pages. So for example, on the stay page, these are the activity blocks. So I'm going to put B&B, oops, and the link type is going to be a page, and I'm going to do bed and breakfast, and I'm going to use the feature source because I think this one should work because it's cropped the right size. And then I just remembered that I forgot to add a title, which I'm going to call it activity block. I'll press save here. Okay. Now, listings are very easy because all you do is select listing, and then whatever categories you selected, like we did in part 1 of the video, will pull into here. So any accounts that have the category that you selected for the page will pull in here. So press save, add another widget. We have photo and video gallery. So this can be mixed. It can be photos, or it can be videos, or it can be photos and videos. So very similar to everything else you've seen. You can pick where it might link to. You could put a little text in for a caption. You could put the video ID in, which just that one up. I'm just going to grab this really quick so that we can show. So I'm going to do one video. And I'm going to add also a image. And I need this 1200 by 800. Okay, so if you see this here, we have had to increase the crop size because retina displays, which are typically used on Apple products, are becoming more prominent, and they display really, really big images, even if the screen is really, really small, because they're trying to show more pixels per inch to make that image look much crisper. So if you see this warning that says the image is smaller than the crop dimensions, what that means is that your original image size is smaller than 1200 by 800, which is the large screen display. In most cases, it's not do or die. The best case scenario is that you can get a bigger image. But if you cannot get a bigger image, that's okay. You'll be able to tell from this. You can see it's a little bit blurry, but I think it's fine. If it's like totally blown out and you can't see anything at all, then I would say you definitely need to get a larger image. But here, I'm going to say that this is probably okay. So I'm going to press save. And then I'm going to scroll down and select my photo. Okay, so now I have one photo and one video in my gallery. Oops, I selected my photo for the wrong thing. So I'm going to just select it again. The other thing is for YouTube, we're working on a way to do a thumbnail from YouTube. But for YouTube, you actually do need to select a placeholder image so that it will display in the thumbnail. And so let me go back to the builder to just show you what I mean by that. So you'll see here is we're starting with a video, and this was not a good video to start with because it doesn't have a pretty display here. But you'll see I have my 2 tiles down here. So you need to, even if you use a YouTube video, you need to still select an image that will be the thumbnail that displays down here. Okay. Back to widget. And then we have feature, premiere, or sustaining members. And so here are the categories that you have to select from. We gave you this extra set of categories. And so let's see, I'm going to pick hotels and motels. I'm pretty sure we have. Because this is the list of categories that have premier or sustaining members. So maybe you have a page that has 13 or 14 categories on it, but you want to feature your sustaining members that are bars and lounges on this page, and you don't want to feature all of them. So that's why you have a separate category list here. So if you press save, okay, and then the last one is a listicle, which is probably going to be mostly used in the article area, except for this design came from the work that Julie was doing. So we have a listicle title. If I can type, and some text in here. So this is the design that has a little line divider between it, and kind of just helps you keep everything clean and in order. Let's see here. Oh, perfect. Okay. And I'm going to add one more item just so that you can see what it looks. I think you need at least 2 to kind of really see what it looks like. And we just need to get one more image. We'll just go back to our favorite image that I know probably. Oh, I thought it would for sure have the crop. Okay, now let's go back to the builder. And I know that I'm going to have to do some rearranging because I went a little bit out of order. And look at this. I need to, so I'm going to talk to Dusty about why this use featured photo from source link is not working. You should definitely be able to check that button, so I'm going to work on that. But for the time being, I'm going to fill this out so that they all have a style that you can see and use. Okay. Okay, so now we have all of our items in here. So we have a listing that I'm going to put at the bottom because you know it's going to have a bunch of accounts on it. So you'll want that to be at the bottom. And I might give that a title here. So here's our listicle kind of development here. So now you have a idea of what each and every item looks like and how to use it. So like I said, if you want to put multiple photo galleries, you can, multiple listicles, you can. The possibilities are really endless to what you can do.